It's time for some zombie survival. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome back to the channel. Good to see you all here. If you're a big fan of games like DayZ, Project Zomboid, 7 Days to Die, and many more, then this game is certainly one that should have your attention. Welcome aboard, and good to see you here for Vane. This game is a multiplayer and single-player zombie survival game with farming and fishing and hunting and base building and scavenging and much, much more. And it's a game that, in today's video, we're going to take our first look at something a little different. We've seen this game before on the channel, but today we're going to take a look at all the things that I wish I knew about the game, break down some more of its details, and then, of course, play and have some fun. So if you love yourself some zombie survival games, make sure you hit that like button for YouTube to put more games like this in your feed. And, of course, subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell so that way you get to see more. Now, this game is a free demo for everybody on Steam and doesn't really have a release date at the moment, but it certainly is fun to play this game, to go around from house to house and to go look for cars and ammunition and, of course, to avoid those zombies, whether or not you're trying to sneak past them or, well, melee them to death or maybe even shoot them if you're crazy like me. So, yeah, I've been really enjoying this game so far. It's got all the things that I enjoy about Project Zomboid, waking up in the middle of a random residence and then, of course, immediately starting to search for things like cans of soup and weapons and then ammunition and other things like that, and then continuing to go from house to house to then find a safe place to gather all those things and then maybe eventually find a vehicle. So we're going to go ahead and start right now. So thanks again for watching. We're going to start ourselves a new game where immediately you'll know that the game takes place in New York, and after choosing your multiplayer mode, base damage, and some other great details, there's a lot of cool things you can modify here. Make sure you keep in mind that things like headshots can count, or you can multiply your health, or even make it so that way if you die, your zombie self will spawn, so the more good or bad times that you and friends are having, yeah, you're going to have a good or a bad time. We'll go ahead and go with the defaults, though, and we'll jump into our wonderful character creator. Good image of the game here, showing the radio tower and a bunch of trees and little residential buildings off in the distance, and a load screen tip. Isn't that wonderful? Beautiful. All right, well, now we're into the character creator, and one thing here that I must immediately mention that I didn't know before is that when we create a character, we'll go ahead and call this guy John Smith. Very classic. We'll go to next, and we're just going to create a character that, you know, is a little fugly. Honestly, the worst part about this game is, yeah, the hair and the facial hair and stuff is all just, it's got some good options, though. Like, for example, when it comes to face creation, yeah, you can really, I mean, you could create Albert Einstein, Mickey Mouse, I don't know. I mean, if you toy around with this enough, you're bound to find something. So lots of options for your facial features. And the hair is just probably the worst part about it all. But anyway, we're going to go with just like a long beard. That's about it. That's about as good as I can make a character look, to be honest. And let's go with the, is there facial hair here? Or, oh, it's here. And then I want eye color too. And then, sure, we should be good. Okay, now on to the most important part. So, first of all, one thing I really like about this game, and like I like about Zomboid, is you can always create a character that's got a few perks and a few drawbacks. In this case, it's not balanced to where you have to, like in Zomboid, if you have somebody who's very agile or inconspicuous, then you have to pick something like overweight or, I don't know, can't read very well without glasses or whatever, like near or farsighted. I think those may be options. I'm not sure. But here we have things like strength. And we also have like vitality, we have weapon handling, a few things that you can make your person who may be a veteran or a police officer even that much more effective by increasing their vitality or weapon handling or the ability to hotwire, that kind of thing. So yeah, we're going to go through all these options here. Some of them are not implemented yet, so don't get too excited about construction and crafting and electrical. There will be those things in the future for, you know, base building and for being able to break down things and cook at your base. And cooking already is in the game, but the perks for doing that are not in just yet. So we'll go with vitality, and we'll go with strength, and then maybe we'll go with, let's see what else we got. Lock picking would be cool too. Hot wiring, actually. Let's go with that for vehicles. Boom. That's probably the most important one right there. Getting a car right away. Lots of fun to do that. Things like dismantling, etc., etc. Now, this is the thing I really, really wanted to show you. First of all, kind of cool in the game that when you click on something like athlete, it changes the whole background of their house. Like that person, you know, who lives in a standard home, obviously would decorate a little bit with some of the things that they like. So, you know, favorite sports team or college or whatever they went to on the wall, and then a few things like a baseball bat, basketball, weight set, some other things. Trophy over there. If you click on each of these, you'll know it changes a little bit. So if we're a banker, for example, we actually start with different things based on who we choose. So here you just think to yourself, oh, if I go as an athlete, I just got a little bit more immunity because I'm stronger. I'm a little more agile and have a little bit more throwing power. But the game doesn't tell you that you actually get weapons and things in your inventory. So that makes your playthrough a little bit different. Now, if you don't like that, of course, you can spawn in and immediately just throw that stuff on the ground. But if you start as a banker, you probably get a little bit of money. And, of course, that allows you to go over to the ATMs and then immediately start pulling out cash and then going over to vending machines to then pull out things like sodas and whatnot. Power in this game is still on, just like it is in Zomboid, and so is running water. So the first thing you might want to do is immediately start filling those bathtubs and start going and getting a bunch of those drinks and saving them. Even if they're warm, at least there's still some sort of liquid. So there's a bonus for that. So athlete gives you some weapons to start with. The banker giving you a little bit of cash. And then, of course, the chef should do the same too. Now, if they don't do these things, these are what they should probably do in the future and make it a little bit more so that way it's maybe not on your person, but maybe stored in the house. So obviously somebody who's a chef, probably going to have a lot of really nice knives around their house. And the same with an athlete. If they don't have a baseball bat on them, should probably be in the garage. College student, kind of the same thing here. You got a backpack in the background, so that person should immediately have some stuff to start storing their goods. And then also maybe like a couple of pizzas around or something like that. That would make sense. And soda. Then we have the conspiracy theorist. Now this guy's hilarious. I love this, by the way. If you check between the two differences here, college student has the laptop and the backpack, but the conspiracy theorist, I mean, there's maps and stuff all over the floor. You've got things up on the bulletin boards, and then very much Dale Gribble. That's who we should play as, Dale Gribble Zombie Simulator. We have ourselves like a, the phone off the hook, don't want the government listening in. And, of course, maybe making their own electronics or something so there's not a bug in it, whiteboard in the background. A bunch of cans there on the shelf, too, so there could be more food and stuff like that immediately available on your person or in the house. Construction worker, yep. Should be the same thing here with maybe available weapons, things like hammers, and things to build with, too. This would be very interesting to have this person immediately ready with some weapons and a base to build, throw a bunch of stuff in the truck, head out to the woods, which, by the way, in my experience is probably the most dangerous part about this game is going out to the woods. I mean, there's animals like crazy out there. I mean, I was almost killed by a cow. Not a zombie cow, but like a cow crossing the street and almost hitting me. There's also deer out there, foxes, and also wolves, too. So the construction worker would be cool if they had those things, pry bar, etc. Maybe that'd be a great way to get into vehicles and to get into houses would be a pry bar to then, rip open a front door, sneak into a window, that kind of thing. Now, the courier is interesting, too. I played as this character before, and the courier character has items on them to start with, but you don't know what they are. They're carrying some random packages, and if you can find some scissors, you can open them up, and there could be something in there like nothing but junk, but then there could also be maybe ammunition, maybe a gun, who knows, random stuff. You get a bunch of random packages to start with. You just got to open them up. That's pretty cool. I think the craftsperson is a little bit like the construction guy, except he works in a local factory. So this person themselves doesn't have all the equipment at home, but maybe they have it'd be cool if they had some sort of an ID card to get into the factory, so you could go there and steal a bunch of stuff. If that's not the case already, I'm just kind of speculating as to what is or what could be, because there's such a huge potential here for those types of things, too. I like that. Demolition Derby Driver. This one's interesting. You could also pick a debuff that says Daredevil. That means that your character, I think, is at peace when you're going really, really fast or something like that. It makes it more risky to drive. There's a bonus for driving risky. That's kind of funny. But Demolition Derby Driver slammed into other cars at the local fairgrounds. I mean, to me, that basically should just be somebody who all around knows cars. And I don't know if the map has this, but having a fairgrounds with the demolition vehicles there would be great. And then, of course, the ability to maybe hotwire and whatnot. I mean, if you're a demolition derby driver, you're probably working on cars. And if you're working on cars, you probably know your way around everything, even if it's not to be nefarious like being a thief. A doctor, there you go. Certainly somebody should have a bunch of medicine and stuff in their house and or I don't know, on them. That doesn't make sense. But yeah, to have extra bandages or something, or the ability to craft more from less would be cool here too. But they have a plus 15 medical, plus 5 vitality because, of course, they've treated illness and injury. There's also a drug dealer here. Okay, I think they should look a little different than that, but funny look for sure. You were not strictly employed. So some cooking ability, social, and trading. Now, that does imply that there'll be NPC traders here, and I think the banker and a few other characters that we'll get to shortly, like the politician and maybe the religious figure. I think both of them have a little bit more sociability, or at least they're more... I'm not exactly sure what that will do. It seems like it'll have something to do with NPCs, both with trading and maybe to getting quests or something like that in the future, but curious to know how that'll be. Now, the electrician is cool too. Electrical and hot wiring, repaired and installed electrical systems. Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory, but not very useful because, of course, that's not really a perk yet in the game so much. But, you know, it is what it is. And the farmer, too. Again, going back to what I said about the house. I mean, the house that you spawn in should have a random spawn of things like fertilizer, farming equipment, and some other things like that. Now, firefighter, that's probably one of the best roles in Project Zomboid is probably firefighting and police. And I say that because the firefighter in Project Zomboid comes with or can find and use things around that fire department. Like if you spawn near or in the fire department, or if you can get there, getting all the equipment for firefighting is incredible. The axe, the helmet, the very thick coat and pants and other things like that they wear for fire protection is very hard for the zombies to like bite and scratch you through. So honestly, the firefighter is probably one of my favorite, and police as well for, of course, and the veteran ability, of course, to get all their equipment, vehicles, and weapons too. But the firefighter here gives us a vitality and agility, and I think definitely should spawn with something like that too. We got a game developer. That's kind of a meme there, isn't it? You're an indie survival game dev, so you got a little bit of knowledge about repairing, hot wiring, electric and mechanical. And a janitor, some good stuff here too. A few, actually, quite a few. Very smart with your hands. Same with the laborer too. Very strong, right? They've been working with their body on that as well. Kind of similar to the factory, but a little different. Here we have the mechanic. We have mechanical and hot wiring, and I have yet to test if the mechanic actually comes with the welding mask, and I think that is something that I've worn before in the game, so that should be very good protection against enemies. But I do believe this game has one of those fatal flaws that some games do, where they'll let you wear one thing on your head, and then that's it. So if you're wearing sunglasses, no possible way you could put on a helmet or something like that. So here, it'd be cool if we could wear the welding mask and then somehow figure out how to put something on. Now, the welding mask might not permit that, but it still would be cool to be able to have like a full or more full protection from the enemy. Musician here, you got sociability and scavenging. Park ranger. Now, that'd be cool if they had maybe a gun and a truck in the driveway as well. That'd be another helpful thing. A police officer. I think in the future, too, a lot of these outfits are going to change. Maybe they'll be in their actual uniform. But the way I see this game is all of these people who are employed are here at home because the zombie outbreak, I think, in my opinion, just happened when they got home, and then all the emergency alert system warnings start going off. Politician. Hilarious. And religious leader. Both the same symbol there, too. We have ourselves sociability for both of these, and then sneaking and trading for the religious leader. That's interesting. Salesperson. A couple of these are mostly just stats, but I'm trying to imagine what they could have as we haven't yet played them all. But it is good to note that some of these people, like, for example, the thief, could have some good things on them. Maybe a gun, maybe a weapon, maybe a pry bar and lockpicks, that kind of thing. Interesting to think about. Interesting, too, the unemployed and the, what is that one up there? Janitor kind of are both the same with having a bunch of 4-level things. A drifter before the apocalypse. Unprepared, too. That's worse. What you did before the apocalypse doesn't seem to matter. For whatever reason, you're completely unprepared for what's ahead. Occupation has no starting bonuses or loadout. So, yeah, the devs definitely need to put a loadout listing here, too. It's nice to see all the stats, but telling us that, a veteran, for example, would have a bunch of, weapons or something in the closet. Now, this game also does take place in New York, so it'd be cool if an American flag was up there on the wall. But also, just in general, it'd be cool if the background of the house changed. But again, this game's in development, so it could get there eventually. But the veteran having weapon handling, repair, and vitality, too. So very strong in that way. All right, we're going to go ahead and go with let's go with the firefighter. No, let's go with the... I don't know. I want to pick somebody who get something interesting. We played as the athlete before. We played as the courier before. Let's go ahead and try as the... Actually, let's try as the mechanic. Not the mechanic, but the janitor. Actually, yeah, I'm surprised there's not a mechanic on this list. Oh, actually there is. Yes, my bad. Let's start with the mechanic. I did read that one off. And then we'll go ahead and add some things that are very interesting here. And I love this, and I hope to see more of this in Zomboid and in this game, where you can make things a little harder for yourself. You can make yourself nearsighted, so it'll be a little harder to play and read books and things like that until you've got near and farsighted would be 2 settings for that. And I think Zomboid might have one of those, and that's cool. But there's also one for Nomad. You spawn in the outskirts of your chosen spawn location, far from most points of interest. So you can actually change your spawn to be in the middle of nowhere rather than in a house. And then we have Amnesia here, Couch Potato. Like, for example, you can only eat cooked food, or it causes stress. You can only eat snack food. Cooked food is not great for you. You got diabetes. You can then have to find insulin around the world. I don't know how that would work when eventually the insulin runs out, and it's very rare to find. You can find it in residential refrigerators and also at places of business, so that's something interesting to work on. But lactose intolerance, sleepwalking, where this one's hilarious. You have a chance of waking up in a random bed when you sleep. So yeah, imagine you build your base, your character wakes up, and then you're across town in like the church parking lot or something like that on a cot or whatever. I don't know. Vegan, pale, this one's great. Your character sunburns more easily. Let's go with that one because it's hilarious, although it's hard to tell we've selected it. Just lit up a little bit. I'd prefer the check mark, please. And then Daredevil, this is the one I mentioned. Instead of causing panic, driving very fast causes excitement. Be careful of heart attacks. Oh, great. Our character can die of a heart attack. That's very my summer car, in my opinion. Very nice. But yeah, there are lots of great options here. I think we'll do a crazy difficult run in the future. But anyway, let's play. Correction. We've now gone as the conspiracy theorist instead because the allure of Dale Gribble was just too much. We got to go find some pocket sand. But another thing to note is that I think when we're in the character creation screen, time is actually passing out the window the longer we take to basically create a character and pick all their perks. So if we take a long time in order to set that up, wow, look at all this stuff we're carrying on us. Canned tomatoes, look at this. A blood bag, wow. Zomborin, what? Sold online from a highly reputable online pharmacy for the low price of $400. Claims to cure the zombie virus. Oh, that could be great. That could be totally a scam. But, wow, and 10 pills of it, too. But, yeah, so I think as we're creating a character, time is passing in the background, so that could change how things start for you. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and try to fill the tub, and we're going to use this as a water thing, like a trough for the future. Ew, is that good water or bad water? That looks filthy. Anyway, so yeah, it's time to begin. So we have ourselves... Oh, look at that. Immediately we find a Glock. We find a bunch of ammo and a flashlight. That's good. So I don't know if that increases the chances of spawn, but it's certainly a great thing. So we have ourselves a pipe. We'll go ahead and add that to our... Oh, it's already on our quick use. Oh, good. We already had a melee weapon. Sort by weapons. Let's choose that. We'll just call it the Glock. And then that's apparently not on the list. Boom, locked in. All right, so we have one magazine. There we go. And let's get some more stuff. So let's look around for ammo, food, a parcel. Good, we just need, cigarette packs. We're Dale Gribble. Okay. Yeah. Oh, apparently we also had a dog. Or we're in somebody else's house. But cheese? Yes, please. Onion seeds, maybe that for later. Fabric softener. Little food would be good for now. Sugar bag, chocolate donut. We'll take things that are ready to eat right now. A baguette, hell yeah. Great thing about this game too, by the way. I don't know if you can do this in Zomboid, but you can literally equip food as a weapon. Yes. Don't roll back the video. Don't roll back the video. You did see that correctly. I'm attacking with a baguette. Yep. No lie. All right, let's go outside. Let's go look around a little bit. As we have daytime here. Looks like we got a... Oh, is that a gas station up the hill? Looks like a little warehouse at a gas station. Got our first zombie. We'll sneak up to them so they don't see us at all. Okay, I don't think they spotted us yet. Okay, perfect stealth kill, guys. They didn't see it. They didn't see us at all. Hey, $97. All right, cool. And that's, of course, something we can use at the maybe the gas station for a vending machine. Where's the door? Nobody's in there, but a great place to build a base. And by the way, if you want to build a base, all you got to do is hit B, and then you can see you can make things out of wood scrap, fortified wood, and limestone bricks. And another cool thing about this game is that, just like in Zomboid, you can fortify things. So if you found a house, you can fortify like a garage door, a window, you can fortify a fence, and then, of course, build a bunch of stuff inside, like forges and workbenches, too. And then we also have things to store, and then also like water, heat, and power items too, or at least that'll be coming in the future. And then a lot of planters, so a lot of good end game stuff here. I wouldn't even bother with farming until much later. But of course you can gather a ton of seeds. They don't weigh anything, but you do have a weight limit towards the start. Wow, look at this, 287. This game must be taking place in like the 2000s or something. I remember when gas was below $1. Or around $1. And these zombies are aggressive. These were runners. Some whiskey? Hell yeah, brother. Good thing about the whiskey bottle. Sir, I am making a video here. Good thing about the whiskey bottle is that you can dump out the whiskey. Another whiskey bottle. You can dump out the whiskey and then, of course, fill it with water and then store that. Got a little truck here. We should be good at hot wiring. Let's see if there's keys in the truck. Is this like a little Chevy S10? Go ahead and check the glove box. Oh, scissors. We can open some parcels. In my opinion as well, I think that the visors, you should be able to look up in them and see if there's like a key or something. But we can also fill up our vehicles here. So if you park a vehicle near a gas pump, you just need to find the gas tank. Where is that damn thing? Oh yeah, you can't even see it, so you got to just magically find it. And what's hilarious, too, is that if you fill up a vehicle that's at 1% health, or if you fill up a vehicle that's at like 10% health, sorry, not health, but fuel, it takes this same amount of hold on, we got a big wound here. But yeah, it takes the same amount of time to fill that up. Jeez, these zombies are ruining our time. A Hawaiian shirt? Tear that into a bandage. Okay, let's apply that. Okay, now Dale Gribble's in some bad times. He's got a deep wound, so we gotta go find some needle and thread or something. We're gonna have to stitch this up. Well, interesting turn of events. I was gonna hotwire that car, but let's go up to that house. We can find some stuff there. Of course, at the convenience store, that's where we can find food, water, maybe magazines for some of our skills. There's usually a break room at those places too, so you can find extra food. Maybe the shelves have been looted, but people didn't think to go into the back. Here we go. One of the makeshift windows there. Okay, we need to see if we can find ourselves. Hey, insulated canteen and a can of tuna. So we're about to die if we do not find ourselves, school backpack, good, some sort of needle and thread or a bandage or something like that. I'm going to go into a bathroom and see if we can find something in the sink. We have a trauma bandage. That could help us a lot. Right, we need to take off our old bandage. Wait, you have no wound that needs bandaging. Are you sure? Go to the medical tab. We see we have a deep wound here and that it's infected. Not with the zombie virus or anything like that, but with a... yeah, let's take that off. Put on the better bandage. There we go. Trauma bandage can treat this. Click on the button to quick use. Oh, okay. Nice. We're still in a lot of pain, and that wound is going to still be a problem for a while, so we're going to have to nurse ourselves back to health. But yeah, you can take off bandages. You can do things like, I think, making disinfected bandages. There's a lot of things. This game's got a lot of depth. At least for the medical system. I like that. Whole medical tab. I like it. Record player. There's another bathroom up here. 2 doors were locked. We do not have a lockpick. And I'm pretty sure I checked most of these piles. Oh boy. Dale Gribble's gonna have a bad time. We gotta stabilize the Gribble. And I think the sun is going down. Their house over there, I see a fence. We had 3 runners come up on us. Runners are quite fun to deal with, as you'd imagine. Oh, yeah. Hate to do it, but don't touch me. I think we can also use alcohol to disinfect either bandages or our wound. Could be somebody in that house. I think there is a zombie in the garage. Sounded like it. Oh, there is. Hi. Alright, let's not deal with that. Let's go to the bathroom. Is there another zombie? Maybe outside. Oh, first aid kit and an elastic bandage. I don't know if a first aid kit will help us here. Compression bandage. Of course, lowering the blinds so the zombies can't see us. Boy, Dale's off to a hell of a day. Debit card, we could use that to steal money. Medical stuff could be anywhere. Battery, we don't need that. Okay, let's see what the first aid kit will do. Oh, good, we're healing again. Dale has been stabilized. Okay. May contain an assortment of medical items. Open. And a compression bandage in there. Okay, so we got a couple of those and a blood bag, too. Alright, we don't have to be as panicked now, but Dale's still in pain. Let's grab that lighter. Oh, yeah. Here's where we could cook. So, the game actually has an RV that's equipped with a bed and a kitchen stove, too. It's at one of the gas stations kind of in the back. And this is really cool. Like, we can put fluid in here and I think boil water. I think we can maybe purify it that way. And then, of course, heat up things, too, which gives you a bonus of being well-fed. So if you have a can of tomato soup, that's great. You can eat that, or almost drink that kind of raw and uncooked. But you can also heat it up and get a bonus. These people are so rude. Are you, sir? Oh, that's where the zombie was, up there on the damn roof. Come down from there. There we go. All right, health going down again. Lol. 1 tap from a zombie and we're in bad shape again. Let's see if we can get a car. Go find a hospital or something like that. Jump in this GMC Jimmy. Oh, needle and thread. Here we go. Oh, that was good. We found a needle and thread in the truck. Hold on. Let me go back to that garage to deal with that wound. Once and for all. Oh, a runner. Mouse sensitivity a little high, but we need a more permanent solution. There we go. Okay. Okay, let's deal with this once and for all. Let's go ahead and use our needle and thread. You suture your open wound. Good. Let's use the elastic bandage. Good. And it's still infected. We could find some sort of medication for that. Let's open this door. There we go. Yeah, we should be able to find something in order to disinfect that. Either maybe like alcohol or some sort of disinfectant or pills for that too. Let's get the hell out of here. We're going to hotwire. 29% chance of success. Failing means that we will hurt ourselves a little bit. But first try, Dale was able to do it. All right, let's use this truck instead. Sweet. We're at 3% gas over on the tank there at the lower right corner. And another thing to note about this game, and one thing that I really like, is that the game has an incredible amount of detail for the vehicle itself. Actually, you know, I'm going to leave the truck on. We should probably get out a cigarette, start smoking, and then pump it some gas because it's the 90s. But yeah, so everything here can be taken out and replaced. We've seen that before in Zomboid. But it takes a crazy amount of equipment to do some of this stuff. We also have to change the oil. 26% dirty here, so eventually you have to go find oil to change your oil. Otherwise, you're going to have engine damage from that. But then, of course, we got things like if you wanted to take out the spark plugs, what does it take to do that? You need a screwdriver to take them out and put them back in. If you're going to change out a gas tank, you need a wrench, heavy pliers, industrial cutter, and basic welder. And I'm wondering, do those things actually require power to use, or can we find like a gas one or something like that? I don't know. But yeah, some more things to actually learn in this game over time, because there's a little bit of depth here for the vehicle and the medical system, and I like that. One of the things that I did before is I found an RV and wanted to fix it up. So then, you know, everything for the RV was in the red. So I literally needed all these things here, every single one of them, almost. Except I think the oil was good, which was hilarious. But yeah, so if you want to go and repair a vehicle, you got to find another vehicle that's got spark plugs and pick them up, or drive it next to the other vehicle so you don't have to walk so far or whatever. And then you've got all your lights, you got your brakes and wheels. So something to consider. All right, let's go. Drive off into the sunset as Dale Gribble. Actually, the most amount of combat I got into right away. Usually I'm going from house to house, very slowly trying to look through every single drawer and nook and cranny, but in this case, didn't have the time. Let's see, I can't turn on the lights unless we have our flashlight on. That'll help. Yeah, aim that out the window. There we go. Now there's a substation here. Oh. Bandage, wow, bandage was destroyed from actually bumping up into the wall like that. That's cool. Alright, I thought we could rip this fence down, but... Oh, we may have a runner. Oh, we need a lockpick to get in here. Okay. Well, I was just going to show you, inside that building, there's actually an advanced crafting bench. And inside that building as well, you can actually turn off and on the power. So if you're playing with friends, if you want to troll them, or perhaps like be a gang that controls the power for a little while until it goes out, you can fortify that building and then essentially kill anybody who tries to come near you and hold power hostage, which is cool. To our left is a school bus. I believe it's a school bus, like workshop or depot, and there's literally nothing in there. It's kind of depressing. There's literally not a thing in here. Nothing in any of the doors. There's no mechanical equipment in there, no toolboxes, no workbenches, nothing. Hopefully it'll be added in the future, but it'd be a great place to loot. Car batteries, spark plugs, fuel. I mean, they're going to have all those kinds of things there. And over here we have a little hardware store. And another great thing about this game that I can't wait to see a little bit more is that's actually natural gas right there. And so each of the buildings, whether you're in like a mobile home or a building like this, they can actually be supplied with fuel. So you can survive the winter, and these things have tons and tons of fuel within them. So it is going to be a game mechanic to actually, like, you know, have natural gas and stuff like that. So if we examine this, you see that it's got 1 million milliliters out of 3 million. So I'm wondering, with this natural gas, if we're actually able to transport it around. There are trucks, I think, that might have gas tanks on the back of them, or at least there is a natural gas company that has a few of these tanks. And so, yeah, that's very interesting for propane and propane accessories. Isn't that ironic? It's an alternative King of the Hill timeline. That's what it is. But it's cool. Like, you can heat your home that way. You can also get natural gas to, you know, like fire up a stove. So it is an actual survival element for a while to be able to use natural gas to stay warm and to also cook with until you got to start reverting to firewood and stuff like that. So very interesting. I like that a lot. I want Zomboid to have that too, and the ability to maybe transport things around in a propane tank would be cool. So that way you could maybe go to find a random propane tank, a big one, a big holding tank, and then eventually steal that and bring it back to your grill or something like that. Be great for grilling, eating, maybe your jacuzzi too. Okay, here's a little annoyance with the game. This zombie is pushing the front of the car. Even though we've got some horsepower, brother, there's no way I can push through him. So what we got to do is, if we want to kill him... Hold on. That works. I like that. Now, I also don't think we shot out our windshield. I don't think they can crawl through there, so that would be a cool game mechanic in the future. But still. We're going to leave the lights on. I want to be able to see... Is this a random house? Oh, this is a little diner. Actually, like a little... Yeah, it's like a little diner and a little shop put together. Very nice. Oh, boy. That wasn't me, officer. That wasn't me. Oh, boy. Well, lots of cool stuff definitely coming to this game. And a lot of potential here. A lot of stuff I'd love to see in Zomboid and other games, too, with actually, like, having a permanent base and using some of the resources that we haven't yet seen before in a game. Natural gas and more expansion upon electricity. Some of the games already do that, but I want to see a different system for that. And of course, the base building is cool too with the whole fortification system. That, like, for example, this building, yeah, we can, you know, throw a fortification on the window, and we can also, you know, add things like fencing around it, and then fortified doors, then build doors too. We can not only fortify like the section of the wall, but also the door itself. So we have our wall, and then we could fortify that wall, and then we could also fortify the door, and garage doors, and other things like that. It'd actually be cool to build in a house, too, to build like a door that goes to a stairwell, something like that, you know? So that way you could secure the second floor against zombies. But anyway, seems pretty cool. I like it. What do you think? Yes, you. Now, if you've watched this far in the video, too, and if you didn't skip to the end or the middle like most of you did, go back right now. You go right back to the beginning of the video. Did you skip through most of this? Oh, shame. But anyway, let me know what you would use for a melee weapon if you were in a zombie apocalypse. I'd love to know. So list down below what you would use for a day one melee weapon. Would you go for like a crowbar, which could be a tool and a weapon? Would you go for a, well, maybe a crossbow? Maybe you actually have access to some, you know, more stealthy ranged weapons. Something other than a gun is what I'm getting at. Some people usually say go straight to the museum and start grabbing some spears and things like that. Interesting. Very interesting. What's your problem, lady? Sorry. Pipe down. And we are simply out of time today for Vane. But if you want to see more of this game, as many of you have been asking, make sure you hit that like button. Let me know down below in the comment section what you think of the game. What do you think about other zombie games? What is the best zombie game that you have ever played so far? And other games that you'd like me to try. Thank you again for subscribing. Remember that this game is free. You can try it yourself. Everything you saw here today is a free demo available now on Steam. So don't forget. And I'll see you all next time. Thank you again for watching. You guys are fantastic. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.